Muy buenas, gente de LinkedIn. Estamos aquí en la maravillosa ciudad de Panamá. Tierras maravillosas. Llevo ya casi 3 meses por aquí y estamos con una persona muy especial. Cada vez que voy a un sitio, cada vez que conozco a alguien relacionado con el negocio, con la empresa, con gente profesional, siempre me mencionan una persona. Empecé a ver ese patrón en común. Literalmente tuve como 4 o 5 reuniones y siempre me mencionaban: oye, ¿conoces a Austin? ¿Conoces a Austin? Aquí le tenemos en exclusiva. He conseguido una entrevista con él, con Austin Hess. Es la persona número 1, o sea, de networking de todo Panamá. Es una persona que conoce literalmente a todo el mundo. Aparte de eso tiene, bueno, negocios maravillosos, The Restaurant and Travel Magazine, DoPanama, que ya nos contará un poquito más. Y para esta entrevista, que también es especial, con una persona muy especial, voy a hacerlo más especial todavía, cambiando de idioma. Vamos a hacer una entrevista por primera vez en inglés. So, here we are with the great, the one and only, the #1 networker in all of Panama, Austin Hess.
Oh, wow.
Like, why do people, like, I'm just saying, like, I've been like into 4 or 5 meetings and everybody's like, oh, you need to meet this guy, Austin, he has this and that. And it's like, why does everybody know you? Like, for me, it explodes my mind. I've never, like, even in Panama, like, such a, like, huge and awesome place. Like, what's your secret? Who's Austin? First of all, who's Austin Hess? Like, where do you come from? What have you been? Like, a small bio for people that don't know you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in and doing this episode with me. And man, first off, I have to say, man, I'm honored that you're saying that everybody on the streets is talking about who Austin Hess is. And I guess probably the reason behind that is how much love I give to the country, you know. And I think that may be a reason why, because, you know, even the Panamanians say, oh, you know, Austin Hess, the gringo that loves Panama more than Panamanians. And, you know, I do love this place. And I think, you know, the reason that I got into this field of work, which is promoting through magazines and social media, is my own ignorance on Panama. You know, when I came to Panama, I was on my way to Australia. I had purchased my airline tickets. I had a great project set up in Australia, in Sydney, Australia. And I was ahead of schedule. So at the bar that night in Hawaii, a buddy said, hey, but I'm going over to Panama for 3 months. Why don't you come with me?
It's amazing, something that you mentioned, like, Panama has everything. Literally, it has skyscrapers. Like, people, when they come here, like, at first, like, the image we have in Europe, at least in Spain, of Panama is like, you know, some palm beaches, something like Cuba, more or less. And like, when I came here, like, I came with a partner. Like, at first I saw this and I was like, okay, I'm in Miami. Like,
yeah, I went to the wrong place.
Dubai. Like, we got messed up in the flight. But then it has, like, like you said, this obviously isn't the first time we meet. You've recommended me like beautiful places in Panama, San Blas, Boquete, Volcan, like, and it's amazing, like, the contrast that Panama has. Like, it has, like, big businesses, huge business opportunities, like, from the US. Like I think it's like the bridge between Latin America and North America, more or less. And
well, the whole world. I mean,
well,
the Panama Canal, you know, like, and it's got so many of those pillars. And
there's so much contrast, like beaches, Amazon. So if I could, like, first of all, let's before getting into the business and the things that actually interest you, what's the thing that you most like about Panama? Like, if that complex, like, you can rephrase it however you want, but what's the thing that actually drives you into loving so much Panama?
But honestly, you know, as a child growing up, you know, something would happen or this, and my mom would always say, hey, the small things don't matter. You know, the small things don't matter. And, you know, now we make a joke about it because the small things do matter. And for me, it's the little tiny things. Like when I open up the sliding glass door of the balcony and there's parrots here in the city flying around squawking. You know, we might be in a concrete jungle right here, but I mean, it butts up right to the real jungle, the nature, and we just intermix. And, you know, one of my favorite parts though about Panama is that I can live in a metropolitan city like this, that's super fun, that's got one of the most incredible gastronomic experiences and proposals that I've ever seen in my life. But to get over to the Pearl Islands or go to Bocas del Toro or any of these other destinations, it's a quick drive or a quick flight, and it's like you're literally going to another country, you know, like
literally.
So it's just like you have so much diversity in all of our destinations, whether you're coming for a vacation or to do an adventure or to relocate. I always tell people, like, they're like, hey, I want to live here, and I'm like, whoa, you know, that might be a place to go on the weekend, or maybe that is where you want to live, but please take the survey, let me get to know you, let me get to know what you want to do, because there is so much diversity, and there's those little things that
are the ones that
can make a difference, you know?
Yeah, so it gives you like a lifestyle also, not like...
A lot of people obviously moving here for the lifestyle, you know, warmer weather, you know, we have, you know, they say we have a dry season and a rainy season. I don't like to call it rainy season, I call it green season. And because it doesn't really, like, this is rainy season. It is beautiful blue skies out today. So it's like this all year long. You have a section of the year between January and April that is no rain whatsoever, and then you have your sporadic rainstorms, but we're in the rainforest, so it's not like, you know, if you're in England or in the northwest of the United States or anywhere else where it's cold rain. It's miserable. You get your socks wet, your shoes wet, it sucks. Here, you know, it's like a romantic, refreshing, you know, it's a hard rain. It usually lasts for 10 minutes to 30 minutes. But then no matter what, it's always the same temperature. You know, it's always a comfortably warm 80, mid 80, high 80s, low 90s all the time, wherever you're at in Panama.
Nice. And will it be, I mean, this question is a little, you know, abstract, but what would be like the target of you that like people that come from other parts of the world, right? What would be like that target? Have you seen like common things in people that come here and live here in Panama? Maybe like, I don't know, they're with family, or they're alone, or they have businesses related to some specific needs, or you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and yes, we do. You know, obviously before the pandemic, it was a lot more retirees, and there's still a great deal of retirees.
Okay.
But now the pandemic has really opened up, you know, like REI Clothing. Their headquarters is closed forever. Like, work from home, okay? Then why are you living in Portland, Oregon? If you can work from home, why are you living there when you can live here? So it gives people like, it's just so much more the ability out there. If you're able to work digitally from anywhere, you can sit on any couch, you can sit at any desk in any home in the entire world. Why are you doing it from where you're at if you could be doing it, like I said, sitting here, or being in Bocas del Toro, or Boquete, or Volcan, or any of these great places in Panama?
There's like no excuse in Panama, because like if you're a city guy, like you have the city. If you are the mountain guy, you have the mountain. If you're a beach guy, you have the beach. If you want to relax, like you have everything. If you want to party, you have party. If you want to relax, you have
and if
everything.
you want the city, like for me, I love the city. But I also love the interior. I love all of our destinations. And that, like a lot of people too, like they say, hey, I have to have internet 100% of the time or my life unravels.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And they're maybe focused on a certain area. I'm like, hey, listen, you know, like power does go out sometimes. You know, internet doesn't always work. So if internet is very, 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 very important to you, live in the city and do what I do. You know, to jump on a ferry and go to the Pearl Islands, which is like the Hawaii of Panama, it's a 90-minute ferry ride or a 15-minute flight. If you want to go to Bocas del Toro, it's a 50-minute flight, just less than an hour. Boquete, same thing. You know, you fly into David, you drive up to Boquete, or you can drive out to the beach towns. I mean, everything is just so freaking close. Yeah. You know, like I said before, it's like you're going to a different country, but it's like this little Panama, and we have so much diversity in all of our destinations.
No, it's amazing. Actually, I'm going to Miami like in a couple of weeks, and it was like $100, like a flight to like it's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah,
so
cheap.
Because it's direct. So for all the people also, like there's lots of people from Latin America. You mentioned that when we talked for the first time, like there's two things that I want you to, you know. The first one is the currency, like in comparison to all the countries, like it's dollars, so it's like stabilized. And the second one was like the security, because I came from, like I recently came from Colombia. Like I was in Panama and went to Colombia, and I went with some Colombian like people and friends. And I went like because I thought like mentally, like and aesthetically, it was similar to Panama, the streets that I was, but I was so confident with my mouth, and people were like, yo, don't do that, like you're not in Panama. So it was curious for me, because it's like I feel so safe, let's say, in comparison, like it's a reality. Venezuela, Colombia, countries like that, like it's not safe, you know. But
well,
here in
there's 2
Panama-
points on that. Is that safety for me, first off, is very, very high. You know, I have a 6-year-old child, obviously, not only for myself, but for him. Safety in Panama, I've never felt more safe in my entire life. Like, I've never felt more unsafe. And then also on that point of safety, you know, a lot of people talk about Venezuela, Peru,
Exactly.
Costa Rica, all these other countries around us. What makes Panama so much more attractive is our stability. You know, because the United States was here with the canal for so many years, you know, 70 odd years, we have built a lot of our principles alongside of the U.S. principles. And you know, when you buy a property and you have a title, guess what? That's your property. And when you pass away one day, it goes to your kids. It's not like all this rickamaroo where, you know, expats from around the world, they don't have to feel unsafe. You know, they know that if I buy a property in Panama, it's titled, that's my property. We use the U.S. dollar. Our medical here is incredible. You know, like I even have U.S. citizens that are clients of mine come down. Like there was a specific client. He came down. He's been having back pain. U.S. hospitals. Oh, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. He had cancer, and they found it right away. You know, and so people say, oh, you know, healthcare in a third world country or a Latin American country is not as good as the U.S. I don't know. I've had nothing but great experiences with doctors, with the dentist. You know, I go get my teeth cleaned, $35. That's not copay. There's no insurance. It's $35. You know, you go pay $35. They clean your teeth, and I have to say, like the dentists here are some of the best dentists I've ever had. I don't know. I just find like the way things work here is just a little bit more simplistic. Mm-hmm. And all of that, again, is one of those small things that when people say, what's that one big thing? It's like, well, it's all these little things. You bundle them together, it becomes a big thing, and it's called life, you know?
Nice. For people like more didactic, let's say, for people from, let's say, Spain, Venezuela, Colombia, especially Peru right now, there's lots of people
Huge,
coming here.
yeah.
So what's like, is it easy to have like the residency, like set up a business? You know, what's like the process? Is it like very simple, more or less? Like
it can be,
okay.
And I like to explain to people why is Austin Hess and DoPanama so important? Because there's one big thing. Let's just say we have 100 people.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have 100. Let's just call. Let's do attorneys right now. We have 100 attorneys. So out of those 100, 20% of them, 20 of them are kind of bad people. Let's just say bad people, and you just definitely don't want to work with them.
Like professionally or like?
Yeah, just
people?
all the way.
Okay.
Everything's bad. They might be mischievous, whatever.
Okay.
There's bad people. Then you have 60% they're not bad people. They're really good people, but they just don't take life so seriously. Mm-hmm. You know, they might not get your job done. They might, they forgot a stamp or they this, you know, and it makes the process uncomfortable and annoying. Mm-hmm. And then you got 20% are just hard workers, go-getters, and those are the people that I work with, you know. So what I do is when people, like, whether you're coming to relocate as a digital nomad or you're thinking about opening a hotel or whatever the reason, you want to invest here, you know, I first get to know the people, what they want to do, and then, of course, based upon their destination they're most interested in or destinations, I start connecting them with the right attorneys for that specific person and realtors. You know, again, the same thing with the attorneys is the same thing with the realtors. You know, there's that 20% that you just stay away from completely. The 60%, if you can, they're probably going to mess up something and it's going to be a headache. It's going to be super annoying. It could cost you a few $1,000s extra or a lot $1,000s extra depending on how big the mistake is. Why not just come to this guy that knows everybody? And I don't charge a lot. Like, I like to help people. I have an addiction to helping people, whether it's in the magazine of finding a great restaurant or an awesome bed and breakfast in the middle of the jungle to helping people relocate to Panama. Mm-hmm. So I love doing it. I have the connections with the right people, whether it's in the public sector or even, you know, obviously more so in the private sector. But like you said, like someone needs something, a specific question that only maybe this top government official can answer, yeah, I can call him right now. Yes. Not many people can call that guy, but I can, and he likes that I call him because he likes what I do for the country, you know, like, and it's a good balance.
No, and it's amazing because it's the relationship. At least what I like lived and experienced with the people that know you, like you not being in that place, you know, and how people talk about you, you know. It's like what we said before, like your engagement with the people and your relationship, it's I think the differentiation, like, because okay, somebody can give me, you know, it's like the way you interact and how people love you, let's say, like it makes, I think, easier, you know, transactions and so on. So I know, like, we cannot disclose obviously, but I know you've networked and made possible like huge businesses because you put like 2 business people like in place or so on.
Yeah.
But for DoPanama, like if we can be more like, what are the services, let's say, or what's like the business model, you know, to talk like if people go to DoPanama.com, what can they find, you know?
So what we've done is we've broken DoPanama into 3 sectors. There's people that just want to get a little bit of information, and actually we have a new vlog series coming out. Nice. Because there are those people, you know, these people that don't really need a relocation specialist. You know, they think, hey man, I'll have a beer with that guy, or what, I'll hang out with that guy, but I don't need all of his services. Well, we're actually, you know, and that's just get your feet wet type deal, where I give you information, I lead you in the right direction, give you some of the information, connect you with this, connect you with that. And we're actually going to be doing a vlog series called Boots on the Ground with Austin Hess, where we're actually going and presenting specific developments. Because again, people want to see a development. They don't need me to hold their hand the whole way. Mm-hmm. Some people do want that service. And then we have the Boots on the Ground service. We have a full-on concierge service. So if you go on the website, you can see all of our options and kind of, you know, really what we are is we're your friend in Panama. You know, that's what it comes down to, no matter at what extent and what capacity you want our help. You know, we help people in different capacities. It's all on that individual.
Basically, DoPanama, it's even for people like, even that want to come, like, for example, vacations with their family and relax, or is it more like for business accredited investors that want to invest, you know? Is it for every type
So not tourists per se.
Okay, not tourists.
We do. Obviously, if you're interested in coming here on vacation, check out DoPanama travel vlog on YouTube. There's all kinds of cool stuff. But I don't particularly like work with people to help them set up their hotels and their tours. There's plenty of businesses out there that do that stuff. But people that want to either relocate here, invest here, or live here part-time, that's the people that we work with.
And even test, like, for example, there's lots of people in Peru, Venezuela, like, seeing which country, you know, I've actually personally talked, I have a huge, well, actually partner and friend in Peru, and she's like testing like what place, like Germany, US, or even DoPanama can help you, like, let's say test like, hey, like
maybe, we call those scouting trips. So like people come on a scouting trip, we do that, of course. Obviously, I know, you know, like I don't like to tell people too much, like, you're gonna fall in love with this place, but you're gonna fall in love with this place, you know, like, yeah, go to Germany, see how cold it is, and you'll be back here in a second, you know, like, because it is the little things. And so I don't put a lot of pressure on people. I like people making their own decisions. Like, I just like to help in the process. So whether it's just to come check out Panama, and it doesn't work for everybody. Mm-hmm. Panama's not for everybody, but for most people it is, you know, and there's always a place that people can really find that they connect with. Again, whether it's in Panama City, it's in Boquete, it's in Banao or Pedesi, it's in Bocas del Toro. There's always something for everyone here.
And this is a big question, right? But what would you say are 3, let's say only 3, like trends or business trends in Panama currently? Like, is it perhaps real estate? I know there's, like, in comparison to like Spain, like the prices are so awesome, like the lifestyle and the like the properties you can get for the price are great. At least that's my perception, right? But
like, yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Like, when you look at apples to apples, like without lifestyle, just value to value, the prices here are way lower than they are in the US and Europe, and that's not even mentioning the awesome lifestyle you get. So yeah, based on the 3 like different sectors that are really focused right now, I see a lot of people that are interested in tourism, that are coming down. They want to do different tourism businesses. We see a lot of people that are just coming down to retire or retire early, or buy something, invest, where they can live here part-time and they can go home part-time. But most of the people are not coming down to bring a business. They're again because of the pandemic, we're seeing a lot of people that never have to go to the office again, or they adjusted their life a little bit to not have to go to the office again, and they ask themselves the same question: why the heck am I living here when I could be living in this beautiful place? Wow. And so we're seeing a lot of that, where again, it's not per se like, hey, I'm going to open my business in Panama, but I'm going to live my life and run my business from Panama.
Wow. Nice. Let's talk about also this is like the star business, everybody literally it's everywhere. Like it's amazing because it's, at least in Spain, I've never seen like a free magazine like this quality, and literally like every restaurant, every place, every hotel. So if you can talk about like how was this project like founded, like
yeah, of course,
the history of the restaurant and travel magazine.
So we also have a publication that unfortunately hasn't printed since the pandemic called Panama Good Times.
Okay.
Again, it was my own ignorance that said, hey, I need to help people find out about Panama. And when I did the newspaper, I was focusing on those international tourists. And with the magazine, it's not more, but it's a combination of not only people moving here to live, expats, but also the local Panamanians, because there are so many restaurants that you cannot possibly know. And that's a big reason why people come places, or why people enjoy a place, is the restaurant and the gastronomic proposal. Mm-hmm. And so we started with the restaurant magazine, and after the pandemic, after we came out of this pandemic, or the lockdown I should say, we're not out of the pandemic, we changed the name from the Restaurant Panama City to the Restaurant and Travel Magazine, because again, there's probably 150, 200,000 wealthy Panamanians that aren't going to go to Greece this year. They're not going to go to Spain. They're not going to New York like they usually do. So a new way to kind of reconnect with their own country, finding all the awesome hotels. Like the hotels around the country, the top hotels are in this publication. And every edition, I'm the tourism guy. I'm the guy that makes the tourism publications. I'm learning new stuff. So you can't, even if you're a Panamanian, you can't possibly know everything. If you're someone looking at Panama, you obviously don't know everything. So that's what gave me the inspiration to do this. I love helping people, whether it's find awesome pancakes, amazing steaks, a cool catamaran to go sail the Sandblast Islands in, a great hotel over in Bocas del Toro. You have it all in one place, and a lot of people have come to really respect the publication, because I also am very focused on what I put in it, like not just the nice paper quality, but like the businesses that go in it. I really look for the best businesses, because that's my reputation, like my reputation is to make sure you have a good time.
Nah, this is awesome, dude. Like I told you, I was in love with this project, and like the positive impact it actually like gives value to like not only like obviously I told you, I think I've known this magazine, like I didn't know you were behind it like until I contacted you, obviously, but like I've known this magazine like every time I've been here, last year and the previous year, 2018, 19, and like it's amazing. Like it actually, like I've actually been to, I think I told you like
a few of the restaurants.
Yeah, a few restaurants because of the magazine, because it's like the awesomest and coolest places of Panama and are here. So it's amazing, like that, like the positive impact the government should give you, like actually finance like these kinds of initiatives.
Oh my God, like, that's another story, but yes.
You're the man that knows literally, or at least everybody knows you. You know everyone here in Panama, okay? But if you could have a dinner, obviously, in a great restaurant with any person, like, let's say the world, not even Panama, like in the world, even dead or alive, like, what would be like the person you would like to have a dinner with? I'm not gonna ask which restaurant, because I'm gonna, put you in.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna get in trouble. That's a great question. And first, I want to answer with, like, I have a lot of friends my age and younger friends as well than me, but a lot of the people that I hang out with, that I associate with, are older gentlemen. 40s, 50s, 60s. And it's because I want to learn from them. And I think that they also see a lot of themselves in me when they were younger, so they're attracted to me. So I have a lot of people that I like to hang out with, people that I want to be like. or I want to become, or I want to follow in their footsteps in some way, fashion, or form, you know? But if I could have dinner at one of these awesome restaurants, or 60 of these awesome restaurants, you know who I would love to have dinner with? Someone that I look up to, I think is very inspirational human being, is Gary Vaynerchuk.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, something about the way he does things, the way he lives his life. You know, I see a lot of his social media content throughout the week. They always inspire me, and he's a very inspirational human being and intelligent, you know, very intelligent person. So that's who.
Nice.
So Gary, come on down to Panama. I'm buying you dinner.
Let's go.
Can't go to one restaurant. We're gonna go to 60 restaurants.
Yeah. This guy has the key of Panama here, so you can open actually like any place in Panama. To end the interview, Austin, obviously, thank you very much for this meeting, this interview. I think it's going to add lots of value for professionals, entrepreneurs, people in general that want to not only live that experience in Panama, vacation-wise or business-wise or whatever. I think you and your initiative are adding a lot of like positive impact, and the concierge and the everything you're doing is amazing. So at last, for like, I want you to give a last message. If you could say something like to the whole world, like 8 billion people like around the world, what would you say to the world? Straight to the camera.
Life is better in Panama.
Wow.
Honestly, like I've never ever could imagine like how much enjoyment you can find with just such little things, you know, like, and people see it all the time. They're like, man, you live the life, you live in the dream, and it's like, what the heck are you doing? Get on down here, you know. And like, that's why I created DoPanama too, is that, you know, like when I make the magazine, when I was making the newspaper, when I do all these things, when I'm putting these photos on Facebook or Instagram, it's like, wow, you know, people are always like, how do I do that? Well, great, I help you do it, and I do it for very inexpensively. And I create these connections for you, and I set you up on the whole journey, and just do it, you know, come on down. Let's enjoy life together, you know, like it's not just mine, it could be yours too, you know, and that's why DoPanama exists, is to help people through that process that is the unknown, is the uncomfortable part of going to a foreign country that I'm gonna move to. That's a big decision, you know, and like that's the whole reason for DoPanama, is to help people through that transaction. And that transitioning process is, man, that's what we do.
Amazing, Austin Hess here. Like, I know, like, people who are listening, like, watching this video, like, it's impossible. Like, it seems like you're sponsoring constantly, but if you're here, like, you actually feel like, I can feel your energy, like, your enthusiasm, like, it's so real, like, the way you love Panama and the credibility it gives you, like, you not being, like, from Panama is like, like you actually want people to come to Panama because you know it's going to make their lives better. Like,
yeah, not just for me financially. It's like, oh my gosh, what I've seen myself and how I've transitioned and how I've grown by changing where I lived. Like, that's what inspires me so much to help people. Is like, it changes you, you know. Like, and when after you lived here for 6 months, after you lived here for 3 years, after you lived here for 5 years, and now I'm going on my 10th year of living in this country, it's just like, wow. You know, and it's like I want to help people achieve that.
No, and I know, like, for a fact, like me being like in this amazing offices with this beautiful views, me knowing like all of the businesses, the things you've got on, like you don't need, like, theoretically, you know, like you don't need people like to convince more people because you already got it going on, but you actually want, like, because it gives you like that purpose and that passion and like the energy, like it's actually like to help people come here because you know it's going to,
well, and do it the right way. You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't want, like, if someone comes down here and they go to one of these realtors or one of these attorneys or they're networked in with the wrong people of any such, they're going to have a bad experience. And that bad experience is going to make us all feel bad. Exactly. And so, like, if I can get in front of the people that are wanting to come here and get them connected with the right people right off the bat, your experience is going to be better. And from that, you are going to talk very highly about this country. And that's what this country needs, you know?
So true, so true, so true. Big impact. Austin, he knows the correct people, the right people, the people that are going to make the Panamanian experience beautiful. So if you want any more information, DoPanama.com, obviously all his social medias, and well, let's make it happen. Come to Panama.
I appreciate it.
Let's do it.